Hello everyone and welcome to Animating with Cliff. My name is Cliff and welcome back. This series is where we get to take a step back and answer some questions that you guys have while watching some behind the scenes animation workflow of current videos I'm working on. So what is it like working with Ismahawk? Is Danny really that cool behind the scenes? Is Noel really that funny when the camera is off? Is Ismahawk, yeah, pretty much. What you guys see on screen is what you get with these guys. So I hope no one was really looking for anything negative, but I owe a lot to them, especially for taking a chance on me the way that they did. So there's a great fake it till you make it part of this story that I really think you guys will enjoy. But back late 2014 or early 2015, I transferred, thankfully, out of my call center department into a department with mindless data entry. There, they let you listen to music as long as you had 1 ear free or was low enough where if someone called you, you could hear and answer. And if anyone listens to music at their job, there's a limit on how much commercial music you can listen to. Bruno Mars and the Frozen album, Pirates. I said Pirates. Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, there's only so much you can listen to before going insane. So I started listening to podcasts, and after a few trial and errors, I came across the Hawk Talk podcast, where they talk about geek stuff, nerdy stuff, and all sorts of awesome with Danny Shepard and his little band of goons. And it was awesome. I love listening to their antics about video games, movies, and filmmaking. I just felt that they had such similar mindset to mine. They were just a couple years ahead of me. It didn't feel like light years like Monty Owen, but they were just dudes in their basement talking about stuff I would talk about with my guy friends. Now, I believe I did watch Animating the series before the podcast, but I was consuming all different types of fan films around that time, and they all just kind of blended together. But it was a podcast that really made me a fan. And then it was always talking about pushing their ideas above and beyond, and they were limited to a lot of things because they didn't have access to 3D or an animator. And I figured, well, as popular as these guys are, some joker's going to come around and work with them, and I don't want to really miss my opportunity. Screw Attack has Torian, Bannerson vs. Mighty Raccoon, so you know what, Ismahawk can run Roundtable Studios. But I had no idea how to get their attention. I commented on some videos, but I got really nothing. Not only that, but I really didn't feel all that confident with my animation since it was nowhere near something like Torians or Mighty Raccoons. So now when Patreon rolled around that year, or became super popular at least, and they signed up, I didn't even hesitate. They had a tier where you could Skype them face to face and talk about anything, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's gonna be my pitch meeting. My Naruto vs. Ichigo animation, I think, was the most proud of at the time, and I actually had the animation finished really a while ago before I took it down and re-rendered it, so it could give me like as crisp as possible as a chance, so it could give me a shot. So they messaged me and asked me for my availability so we can chat, and when it came time around for the Patreon awards and I sent my availability as well as link to my video, talk about nervous. They didn't even respond to the animation. They just said, okay, great, we'll just talk on this and such as this date. So now there's doubt in my head. You hear thousands of people saying how they get tons of emails of people asking them for stuff and opportunities. And I'm like, great. Just another message, another email of someone annoying them asking about stuff. They just probably want to talk about geek stuff, nerdy stuff, and all sorts of awesome. So it gets time to do the Skype call, and I'm thinking, well, they're still fun guys, so it should be fine. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when you listen or see people on a screen and you kind of put them in the same category as celebrities, people who entertain or are known by the masses that you'll never get to meet. So when you open up Skype and you see Danny Shepard, Noel, and Jeremy say, hey Cliff, what's going on? I literally just like froze right then and there. I think they were setting up the podcast, and I think Tony and Jeremy were multitasking behind the scenes, so I was primarily talking to Noel and Danny, and I'm like, man, that's Nightwing and Red Hood. This is awesome. And if that was enough, they opened the conversation piece with, hey, we saw your animation, it was awesome. Jeremy really liked your camera movements, and I think we could work together. Man, you couldn't tell me shit. My ass was on cloud 9. It was like sensory overload combined with gratitude. It was a whole out-of-body experience in my mother's basement with sketchy Wi-Fi. So I'm thinking, oh man, so it's great we get to work together, so I could probably do some particles or a flying ship in the background or something. And then he hits me with the killer. Hey, so, we're really big Power Rangers fan, and I'm thinking of doing, a Megazord versus Voltron animation. What do you think? I knew for sure I couldn't do it. Not even close. Where was I going to get the models from? I don't even know who Voltron really is. They want to do this for realistic too? No way. So I naturally responded with, yeah, absolutely, we can do it. That's nothing. That's not even a problem. No problem. So they're excited. And they had to cut it short, to start the podcast, but Danny said that he'll private message me to get the process started. So I sit back after the call was over and just was like, fuck, I'm screwed. But this is what I wanted and worked for. No point turning back now. And here is where in the story that it's important to have a tight team behind you if you're trying to do anything, not only just animation. So I had 2 colleagues from college, one modeler and one rigger, and I was the dream seller of the group. The one that said that we're gonna make it, I have this opportunity, and if we get this, we're gonna blow up big. So now that Danny Shepard of Ismahawk is asking me for something, it's time to move mountains. And maybe I cried, this is it, too many times, but they weren't really trying to hear it. Unanswered calls, late texts, excuses. I really want to come up with the people that stuck by me in college, but it just wasn't working out, and I wasn't gonna really miss this opportunity. So I worked my little butt off at my job and went to Upwork and got a modeler for both Megazord and Voltron, and they were modeled in about a month after 3 or 4 months of me wasting my time. In the meantime of me trying to convince them to work with me, Danny wanted to do a small test to see how the workflow was, and that was a first person Iron Man video in which I did the small reflection off the glass of a building, which wasn't that bad, and he was happy with it enough to move forward with the big project. Now I explained the situation to Danny and he wanted to help. He said he'll reach out and see if anyone bites. I don't even know why I got a model on my own, because boy did Danny pull in one of my current and now good friends, Devin Gee. Devin, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call in the industry a beast. He took that Megazord and Voltron model and made it his bitch. Devin is a texture artist and he blew all of us away. He went on and helped me out with Genji and Grey Fox, Darkseid of Thanos, and obviously working with us on the next Ismahawk project. So now with me, Devin, and Danny, we now have ourselves a little team. Now it comes down to the animation. The models are modeled and the textures are put in. It's rigged. Now it's coming down to the animation. My turn. Talk about nervous. I went through several drafts of the initial fight. Danny did give me a script and we adapted it the best way we could, but best believe, and he knows this, my man Danny Shepard is a stickler, and it's a good thing. But for someone with limited knowledge of animation, he sure knows how to critique like an animation supervisor, that's for sure. I'm telling you, seconds and frames adjustments, and I'm not feeling this, and something is off here, but I get it. He was doing his most and his best by pulling in big names like Yoshi Sudarso, iJustine, and Core Digital to be the live action actors, so you couldn't have the 3D looking crazy. But it was all for the better, and that's not even the thick of it. Before I got Excalibur, which is my current build computer by the way, I was animating and producing everything on my laptop, which worked, but when the animation was done, it was time for lighting and rendering. Yeah, my laptop was doing none of that. I had to use a screen sharing program to use Devin's computer to light the models and coordinate with him when he wasn't using it, and he was in his final semester of his master's education. Like, really? I'm telling you, this man's a legend. Luckily, once Danny pulled up another trick up his ass and got another friend to help, I believe his name was Austin, who somehow knew how to set up a render farm, and we were barely able to get all of it done in time with the combination of the farm and Devin's computer. I feel like these videos are getting long, and I know that I have no problem listening to 20-minute videos and 2-hour podcasts, but for some reason I feel like I'm not there yet for my own content. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys don't mind me continuing on past like 10 minutes into a video, or would you rather me go ahead and break it up in multiple parts? I'm really just trying to flow, just trying to go with the flow here. There's a second half of the story about the release of the project and how everything went down, and then the story of them coming to New York Comic Con to promote it. But let me know what you guys want to hear, or if you want to hear something else. Be sure to have any questions down below. Thank you for watching Animating with Cliff. I'm Cliff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.